If you've been following the channel, it's no secret that I'm a big Yume Nikki fan. As someone who has a lot of weird dreams, the thought of exploring dreams in a computer game has always appealed to me. Silent Infinity, developed by Mizzen, is probably the best Yume Nikki fan game I've played this year. Although I played many fan games this year, all with their own strengths and weaknesses, I feel that Silent Infinity had the best overall experience compared to other Yume Nikki fan games recently. It has plenty of worlds to explore, plenty of strange and sometimes unsettling things to see, and plenty of implied story to engage in. It stays true to the style of the original, but isn't afraid to make improvements or try some new ideas as well. Silent Infinity has a unique nautical theme to it. I've seen some fan games tap into underwater, ocean-related areas, but Silent Infinity is incredibly consistent with its imagery and ocean-related themes. There's definitely connections to make between the nautical themes and the main character's backstory. It helps tie in the overall experience very neatly. So if you're looking for a game to explore dreams about the ocean, dive in and give Silent Infinity a try. I highly recommend it.
Three, two, one, go!
Twist.
Friday Night Funkin' is a rhythm game where you're a boyfriend trying to kiss your girlfriend, but her evil dad is getting in the way and trying to kill you. The only way to get to his heart is through the power of music. This game blew up all over the internet. As of this recording, this is the highest rated game on itch, and for good reasons. First of all, it's a very fun game, with a lot of charm and love put into it. The gameplay is very straightforward, just press the correct key at the right time, which is always synced up to the beat of the song. The characters are all distinctive, and their animations and even voices tell you a lot about their personality. Of course, the biggest part of any rhythm game is the music, and it's phenomenal here. The tutorial and first song were fine, but it's when the song Fresh hit that I instantly fell in love with the music for the game. No song ever got boring, mainly because there's a good amount of variety. From hip-hop beats to electronica to 80s inspired stuff, there's definitely a song for everyone here. Lastly, the biggest part of this game's success is that the entire game is open source. This means that you can mod and change the content of the game pretty easily to make your own tracks and characters. The community for this game is incredibly active. There are entire YouTube channels dedicated towards highlighting the new mods that come out for this game. There's also an official full game being developed that's looking to be released on consoles as well. So, if you're into playing a stylish rhythm game, check out Friday Night Funkin', if you haven't already. Bubble Jcat is a point-and-click adventure game where you are trying to find your lost cat. The visual look is very dreamlike, or might I say, bubbly looking, and I love the color choices. The pixel art is very well done. The writing is a great amount of fun. There's a lot of wacky and interesting characters you'll run into. I remember some situations being so ridiculous, yet comical. It's self-aware in all the right ways. There's a pretty interesting mystery that overshadows the game, and it's pretty entertaining to unravel. The ending definitely caught me by surprise. Gameplay-wise, it's a pretty straightforward point-and-click adventure game. Figuring out where to go and what to do isn't a complete pushover, though. There's a lot to interact with, and while most of it is flavor text that helps flesh out the characters, you still have to explore around thoroughly and pay attention to the small details to connect the dots for some puzzles. Overall, this was an incredibly fun time. If you're into point-and-click adventure games, this is a must-play. What to Do with a Four-Eared Fox Girl is a slice-of-life visual novel game where you help a little fox girl who you find injured near a forest. The art for this game is beautiful. The characters look adorable and the backgrounds are colorful and detailed. The music is good, each track fitting the appropriate scenes perfectly. Story-wise, it's very compelling. This is a visual novel game where choices really matter. Your bond with the fox girl depends on the choices you make. She's a character that's a bit hard to get along with, so what seems like an obvious choice may not actually come out to be the best result. You have to think about her feelings and consider what each action would do for her mentally and emotionally. By the end of the game, she really grew on me, and I felt that even though I didn't get a perfect ending the first time through, I felt like I was satisfied with the choices I made. There's a total of 4 endings. 1 is a true good ending, 2 which are middle of the road, and the 3rd is a bad ending. The bad ending for this game really hits hard. You have to go out of your way to treat her badly, and the story doesn't hold back if you deliberately make those bad decisions. Four-Eared Fox was probably my favorite visual novel I played this year. If you're looking for a wholesome visual novel experience, try this one out. The Ballad of Blue Oak Valley is an action-adventure game inspired by the old 2D Zelda games. The goal of the game is to find 3 ingredients your grandmother needs for her famous pumpkin pie. The exploration in this game is pretty open-ended. As soon as the game starts, you can pretty much go wherever you want. Some areas are blocked off by obstacles, so you'll need to look around for the appropriate items to open up some areas. The map is dense with NPCs to talk to. Everyone has something helpful, interesting, or hilarious to say. It helps flesh out the world and made me want to explore the world to the fullest extent that I could. The combat system is very much like the 2D Zelda games as well. Your sword is a stick, your bow is a slingshot, and the Jar of Winds is a leaf blower, which is a pretty fun idea. There's nothing too complicated about the combat system. Once you get the slingshot, it kind of makes the stick trivial. There is a roll option, which is nice, but the enemies aren't too difficult either. Visually, the game is very colorful, and the pixel art looks great. I love the small sway effects on the trees and plants. It helped breathe a lot of life into the environment. The music is also pretty nice, and there's multiple tracks depending on what area you are in, which adds some variety. Overall, if you're a fan of 2D Zelda games, or you're just looking for a lighthearted adventure game to play, The Ballad of Blue Oak Valley is definitely worth your time. Ronita Fishing is a 3D platforming fishing game where you're on a simple quest to collect as many fishes as you can and help some new friends along the way. Visually, it reminded me a lot of the new Link's Awakening remake. It's got this sort of toy diorama aesthetic that I really like. Gameplay-wise, what you'll mostly be doing is fishing. There's several types of fish to collect and each spawns in different areas of the game. Some fish even spawn in the sky or bushes. These sorts of fish have a technique to figure out how to fish for them. The game keeps track of each fish you need to collect and lets you know where each fish you need is. The fishing rod is also used to solve small puzzles. There isn't any puzzle that's too complicated, but it does provide some variety in gameplay. As of this recording, I've only played the demo for the game, but even for a demo, it felt very polished and satisfying to complete. I don't think the game does anything exceptionally well or innovative, but it doesn't necessarily have to. It's just a very straightforward, cute, relaxing experience. Here's hoping that the development team can come out with a full version of this game someday. Regardless, if you're looking for a relaxing experience, Ranita Fishing is the perfect game for you.
That's when he told me there was an unlimited amount of kaolinite a mere 3 million light years away on Terracon 5.
Are you sure we should be taking advice from suspicious strangers we meet at rest stops?
I'm an excellent judge of character.
I don't think he was even wearing pants. Sir!
The Space Between Us is a game where you are constantly trying to repair a spaceship in order to make it to your destination before your ship explodes. I love this game. It's hectic in all the right ways. The gameplay loop is running around your ship and completing tasks in the form of mini-games to prevent your ship's health from depleting. If your health bar runs out, it's game over. The ship is a good size and has a labyrinth of doors you'll need to unlock. Some of the tasks are more difficult than others, so you'll have to manage your time well. The most charming part about this game are the 2 lead characters, the captain and the cadet. They have a really great chemistry together. The constant banter between these 2 characters was fun to watch and added a lot to the hectic feeling of the game. If you complete the game, you're rewarded with a pretty cute scene. I also love the game's music. It's dynamic and changes as things get more dire, which is a great touch. The space between us is a short but memorable experience. I hope you give it a try and fall in love with it. Cursed Travels, the Shattered Labyrinth, is a spooky puzzle platformer where you explore an ancient mausoleum to investigate some strange happenings and mysteries. Visually, the game looks like an old Game Boy game, but the animations, music, and sounds all bring it together to give a great atmosphere. It's not downright scary, but it creates a spooky vibe very well. Gameplay-wise, it's a lot like a mini Metroidvania. You explore the labyrinth by connecting rooms on this grid map. It takes some messing around to get used to, but it's a surprisingly fun and rewarding experience. As you progress, you find more and more pieces you can use to create longer paths and explore further. Each room in the labyrinth has NPCs to talk to, puzzles to solve, and upgrades to find. This game can be a bit of a challenge. The labyrinth grid puzzles aren't going to be for everyone, and you can get lost very easily. For me, it helped a lot to write down my own map and notes in order to keep track of things. Every NPC and room gives you just enough information to start putting the pieces together, but you'll have to work your brain a bit to figure some stuff out. Personally, the challenge added a lot to the experience. I really felt like I was exploring a labyrinth and uncovering the secrets within it. It's an incredibly satisfying experience. The Shattered Labyrinth was probably one of my favorite games this year. The sum of all of its parts comes together so incredibly well. I highly recommend everyone try this game out. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, here are some honorable mentions playing in the background. If you want to play any of the games shown in this video, be sure to check out the description below for links to the itch game page. Here's to 2021 and all the great games that came out this year. I'm looking forward to seeing what new and interesting games 2022 will bring. If you like this video, hit the like button and be sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Finally, I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who watches the content on this channel. The channel now has over 400 subscribers, which is mind-boggling to me. It's fulfilling to me to be able to share cool projects with everyone. So thank you again for watching. Happy New Year, everyone.